Hey, welcome back to JG3 Reviews. My name is James and I do fountain pen, ink, and paper reviews. And today, this is the kind of review I love to do. It is an affordable pen that writes really well and I think looks pretty good. This is the new Jinhao x350, a black lacquered fountain pen with a great number 6 nib. And did I mention really affordable? I'll share with you in this review what I like, what I don't like, where I might improve a couple of things. So let's flip the camera and dive right in. All right, so the X350 is a conservative, traditional, classic style. I think all those words kind of fit this design. Of course, it's going to be somewhat familiar. It looks an awful lot like, say, a Platinum President or a 3776, just in a different material. But those pens also look like a lot of other pens. So you have this kind of bullet-shaped finial, very simple, coming down to a gold trim ring, which is also part of that clip, which, again, I'm liking the new Jinhao design. Good and stiff, this one. It'll definitely hold that still in your pocket, and it has when I've used it. And then you have Jinhao emblazoned on this narrow trim ring with the model number on the back side of the pen, which I think many of us really come to appreciate. Then, simple, fairly straight barrel. There is a slight taper down to this next gold trim ring, nice and thin, and then that bullet-shaped end of the barrel. And then coming back up, we see again that this is a brass pen with a black lacquer finish, or it may be enamel, whichever the case may be, and very nicely done. Just take a look at that. Very, very nicely done. Then we go to take the cap off. Let's see how many turns. There is 1, 1/2, and 1/4. So 1 3/4 turns to get the cap off. It does post well and securely on the inside. Looking down in that cap, we can see the fastener holding on the finial, and we can see a plastic sleeve. And you can also see the thread work inside the cap, which meet up with the metal threads here, which are integrated with the barrel. We open up that barrel and we find a silicone ring and also, again, these same metal threads. Same thing on this case inside the barrel. And, of course, you have a Jinhao converter, the bore of which is 2.6 millimeter, the Chinese standard, but it will also take international standard, long or short. Then we come to that grip section. Now, if on the X850 you liked the pen, but you didn't like that triangular grip, here is the grip for you. You just need to look at this pen instead. This is a regular round grip section. I think it's long enough for most grips. I find it comfortable to write with. The pen is long enough unposted. It is, of course, a little back-weighted, but very comfortable to write with posted as well. And I find those ergonomics to be good. So you might want to consider this if you liked the style of the 850, but you'd rather have just a normal round grip. The taper of which is really slight, almost unnoticeable, comes down to this trim ring at the base, which does not jut out very much, so it's not going to stop you, but that's okay because the finish on this is not really slippery, or at least I don't think so. I find plenty of grip there. And then you see that nib. Taking a look at that nib, it is a number 6 steel nib. It is a two-toned finish, and that's just kind of standard Jinhao. Looks good and writes well. This is a medium. Very nice to see them offering more pens with medium. A lot of us like that. And their standard number 6 feed that does provide plenty of ink, as we'll see in the writing test, to this nib. Now for our quick size comparison, this is the Jinhao x350 that I'm reviewing today, next to a Platinum 3776, a Jinhao x850. You can tell that's slightly longer, and of course that shape is a more elongated cigar shape. And then the Jinhao 51A, this one in wood. Then we had the Hongdian Black Forest in carbon fiber, and the latest special edition of the Lamy All-Star in petrol blue. All right, and here we have the pens uncapped. I always find it interesting how the length differences can completely change, and the longer pen becomes the short pen, etc. So this is always a helpful metric, especially for those of you who like to write with a pen unposted. And here we have the pens in their posted length in which case this pen comes up kind of in the middle of the pack. All right, a pen can be affordable, a pen can look good, but if it doesn't write, who cares? I know I may have mentioned this already, but I'm really glad to see more Jinhao medium nibs. That just makes me happy. And this one has good wetness, I think. Ink today is Pen BBS. Number 223. And that is the Chongqing City Blue. I'll put a link at the end of this video. This is one of my favorite blue blacks with really nice shading qualities to it. Really great ink. Okay, that's just normal pressure. This is not a flex nib, and I know that, I really shouldn't even have to mention that, but you can really just not bother with this one. This one is not stiff as a nail, but there's no flex to it. Just not what it's made for. This is just a medium standard number 6 nib. And it writes nicely. Very smooth. There's just a hint of a soft pencil. Number 2, not even. A little softer than that. Feedback. More audible than felt. Really nice. It's nicely done. It is a comfortable pen to write with. I like it. Even though you're obviously going to get some back weightedness because of that cap, it is not bad at all. Don't really even think about it. Let's do the speed test. I think I forgot to do this on the last couple of pens. I like to see if a pen skips or not, and this is a nice easy way to do it. Good. I see nothing. A little bit of a light line there. Maybe me, maybe the pen. That kept up very nicely. And by the way, you can also see the shading in that ink. Also quite nice. Now, how about our joke for the day? All right, what do I like and what do I not like about the pen? What I like, the design and build. Design is very simple. Love the new clip again. I'm going to keep giving them positive encouragement on that. It was a good move. The materials are good. It really is comparable to more expensive pens. The weight and balance, I think, is fine for a pen with these materials, and that's good. If you prefer just a pure cylindrical section, this is the one for you. Between this and the X350, I think some of you will like this a lot better. The nib is what you expect from Jinhao. It is a good number 6 nib. Mine writes well, flows well, smooth, medium line. I like that. Includes a converter. All of those things. Value for money is excellent, but it's also just a well-made, everyday carry pen with a nice classic look. Is there anything that I would change? Nothing really glaringly stands out as a problem. Maybe if I was going to change something, it would be, and I think maybe they're going to do this, I hope so, to offer it in more colors. I think silver trim would look great. I'm more silver trim than gold trim in my personal taste, and I think that would be great, but I think some other colors would be as well, so I would definitely encourage that. Somebody brought up in the comments after the X350 review that wouldn't it be great if they offered this in an acrylic or in a plastic pen? And yeah, I think that actually would be great. That would make this just a wonderfully well-balanced pen a lot like that X159, but with this number 6 nib, that would be fantastic. And so, maybe some suggestions there if Jinhao is listening, and it seems like they are. If you look at the things they're making, they're listening to somebody. So I think we all appreciate that. But what do you think? What would you change to the design of this pen? Share that in the comments below, and God bless you, and have a great week.